I actually come to the view that Hindi cinema, and I want to say Hindi cinema, by which I mean Hindi commercial cinema, is the only medium that has been able to talk to the entire nation last 60, if not longer years. There is no other medium in India today. There may be better mediums. They may be more artistic, more creative, more secular or more socialist, whatever you call it, media. But in terms of talking to the nation and in some sort of reflecting people's anxieties, there has been nothing like in the film cinema that I know of, in India at least. And I think the reason, the 1955, in a sense, is an interesting year, and not only the 1955, almost any year, all the 1940s, 1950s, which is what I remember at first hand. The country was changing, and cinema was changing. Not in a one-to-one way, not in a didactic way, not in a kind of sociological treatise way, but somehow anxieties which people had, the hopes which people had, aspirations had. And it was not a single, as Mani was saying, it was not a homogeneous product. The same Guru Dutt who made Mr. and Mrs. 55, which is a very ebullient film, very assertive. There's an Indian identity which can be asserted against the westernization, the Western version of feminism that the Lalita Pawar character is projecting. Could make Pyasa. His next film was Pyasa, which is immensely critical of Nehruvian India. Very, negative, Jine Naza Hind Prabhu Kahan Hai, the beautiful song by Said Janvi. Now, that could happen. And then, of course, he made Kailas Ke Fool, which is even further into despair. And then he comes out and makes Chaudhry Ka Chand, which is a completely different film. Again, there is a tragedy at the end of it, but it's a very different kind of film. Or Bimal Roy, who made the Deo Bega Zameen, the searing film. And I remember all of us seeing it. It was such a complete surprise that a Hindi filmmaker could make a film like Deo Bega Zameen. It's a very new realist film, and it belonged to film festivals. It was a commercial film, opened in the first Hindi film to open in Metro in Bombay, which was a great thing because a lot of people who could never go into Metro because it only showed English language films suddenly were, going into Metro. He made the because he could also make a film like Parinita, and then Devdas, and then Madhumati is a complete contrast. So again, what you have is this amazing diversity, and different kinds of moods are being reflected. Some are straightforward, affirmative, joyous. Others are worries about land distribution, how the poor are faring, or worries about identity. The Western colonial forces. Have we been able to overcome them and establish a true Indian identity? Again, the nice thing about these films is that we can theorize about them, but they were not theorizing. They were telling stories which they had to tell to ordinary people who were spending 5 annas or 10.5 annas or whatever it is, sitting in the front benches and middle benches. They had to be entertained. And the successful people like Vimal Roy and Guru Dutt and Mehboob Khan and Chetan Anand, they all were able to entertain and make interesting films. The division which came in the 70s later on with parallel and not parallel cinema, or in the 1980s where the middle classes withdrew to their living rooms and watched television, and films were only watched by really sort of lower ticket people. That distinction did not exist because we had nothing but cinema to entertain us. We had no television. We had no television, no DVD, no VCR, nothing. And the hold that I think cinema got on our imagination at that time, it still retains. How it whether it uses well or not, my other panel members are better able to judge. But for me, the fact that there is no political hero in India today. There's not been a hero in politics since Nehru's days. But the public imagination has shifted to film stars. Dilip Kumar and then Amitabh Bachchan and then Shah Rukh Khan. And why do people have those icons? Because those icons tell them more about themselves. They can identify the aspirations on with what the icons are playing out than they can with the prime ministers and chief ministers and presidents and things like that. And it's a failure of the system that nothing to rival cinema has come to tell the nation's story to the nation itself. But cinema does it. Cinema has filled a vacuum, and it has filled a vacuum while it was appalling commercial conditions. Until I know money doesn't like the corporatization, but until that happened, the film financing was very precarious. Lots of money lenders, lots of black money, lots of mafia goons, around. Under all those circumstances, people made fantastic films. It's one of, and I've always said that India has underestimated its cinema so atrociously because all the intellectuals do not like anything that the people watch. And they glorify things that nobody wants to watch. And I think we have completely underestimated the power of the cinema, the contribution it has made, because to tell the nation that it is a nation. The fact that it is a nation, it is a nation of diverse people, diverse languages, diverse faiths, different kinds of conflicts and so on. All those conflicts get reflected. And I think, I don't know about like cinemas in other languages enough, but at least I know about Hindi cinema, that it has done that. And it also done, I'll just stop and I'll say another thing, which again, it has not been acknowledged for. It has kept Hindi going as a language. Every effort the government has made to make Hindi a good language has been counterproductive. You only have to see signs in the public places. They're so Sanskritized, nobody understands them. But Hindi cinema has kept Hindi language going. So at least up and down the country, people remember snatches of film songs or dialogues or things like that. The reason because they go and see these films, as their own volition. So my view is that it may not be generally true of all cinemas in all nations. But at least as far as India is concerned, cinema is one of the most amazing, powerful, interesting medium. And it has been able to tell the nation its story. Because eventually, cinema is all about storytelling. And Hindi cinema has been able to do that. Thank you.